All right, sweet. So first of all, I want to tell you, your AEW interview put me on to Vienna Calling, by the way.
Oh, Falco, really?
Yeah, well, I knew who Falco was, and I knew Rock Me
Right.
Amadeus, and that he died, and that was like it. And then I like looked up the song the second you like referenced it. I was like, damn, that's a banger, man.
It's a banger, isn't it?
It
It's
is.
so
I
good.
like
Yeah,
it
hell
better than
yeah.
Rock Me Amadeus personally.
I think
So
so too.
yeah,
I really appreciate that. Hell
yeah,
yeah.
no problem. All right, so let's get it started. Joining me today is the current AEW Women's World Champion for 9 days, the Toxic
Right.
Spider, straight from Vienna, Austria, Thekla.
Hi.
How are you enjoying your first 9 days as champion? I see the posts. Yeah, I see the title. It looks awesome on your shoulder.
It's pretty
What
good.
have you
I
been doing with
mean,
the title the first 9 days?
I've been taking it out on dates, as my new trophy wife. Been having some fun with it, taking some cute pictures, as a champ should. No, it's been good. I've been celebrating and partying and now it's back to work.
And you talk about back to work. Thunder Rosa's coming back. She
Oh my
just got
God.
cleared. She's calling you out. She's gonna
Oh my
face
God.
your trio mate Julia Hart at Collision this weekend. What do
Yeah.
you think about the fact that she said in Spanish translated, "I love toxic people"?
Yeah, I heard that too. Me encantan las tóxicas. I was like, ooh, baby, maybe you want to join us rather than fighting me. Yeah, I think it's great. Hey, shoot your shot. So she's been out for a while, and I can totally see us having a fun little fight. But I mean, first she's gonna have to go through Julia, so I'll be watching that very closely.
Speaking of Julia and Sky Blue, you aligned yourself with them very quickly into joining AEW. How important was it to get that backing, and also what did you see in them as rising talents?
I think it's very important to surround yourself with good people and fresh people who are hungry. I see that hunger in Sky Blue especially. I've never seen somebody get so excited about a blood match, as Sky Blue. She's batshit crazy and I love that. That's kind of crazy I vibe with, and Julia just has that eye for beauty and a vision of what's visually appealing, and I really vibe with that as well. Having people like that surround me is really good for me and really important because I can at any point I can ask them like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And they're also honest and they will give me their opinions. So on my way to getting this baby, they were really necessary. We're holding this together, the
And the, per-
triangle.
and the person you defeated for that title, Chris Statlander, is now not clear. Do you have a message for her?
Well, yeah. I mean, get your shit together and come back, and fight me on this bitch. So as like I took that thing away from her, and she has every right to be mad, and she has every right to be crazy about trying to get this back. So I'm waiting for it. My thing is always I strive for getting the worst out of people. And I think we haven't seen Chris's worst side yet, even though she showed quite some glimpses of it in our strap match. I think she can go a little further, and I hope we can get to see that.
You said in past interviews your goal was AEW domination, and you said in an interview this past week that you're now the face of AEW. Have you revised your checklist of what you want to do, and who are some potential opponents you want to defend the title against?
What I want to do is as I said, I want to give Chris another chance whenever she's ready and whenever she's figured out who she actually is. I want to give maybe let's see what Willow's got. I've said it in another interview before. I could absolutely see her if she's still holding the title, and I'm still holding the title for one of the big pay-per-views. We should go maybe, one for one. We like, both put it on the table and see who can go home with double gold. Um, Other than that, hey, who knows who else is gonna step up? I like to be comfortable. I like to be, have them chase me for their opportunity. So whoever is gonna step up, I'm gonna put them through hell first.
You came to AEW after being fired with cause for striking the president of Stardom. Does Tony walk around on eggshells around you?
Yeah, he does actually. I think he's a little scared of me for sure, as he should be. So is staff, honestly, as they should be. Um, yeah, I've got a very I'm very short-tempered, but at the moment I have everything I need and everything I want. So if anybody was to take this away from me, that's when we got to be really, really careful because you don't want to make me mad, that's for sure.
You've talked about it in other interviews about how you have a unique background, the art school, the way you trained wrestling initially, the punk band. How has that inspired your in-ring style?
It's inspired my in-ring style a lot because I've always been drawn to aggressive violence, honestly, in the things I like. Punk, the way I was playing punk rock and the way I was playing my guitar was extremely violent, and my fingers would hurt after first or second song. Our drummer would be bleeding after three songs, and he'd go through drumsticks like underwear, in a week. So it was always about violence and being very, very extreme. So also in my art, when I draw, my hands cramp up. It's very brutal, like very raw expression of self, and that's what shaped my wrestling too. It's very straightforward.
Right. How old were you when you figured out you could spider walk?
Ah, 6.
Jeez, really? Just
Yeah.
walking around the house at 6 doing that?
Yeah, I mean, I was always very hyper flexible, so I'd be sitting around with my legs behind my head and just like, hi, it's like, it's just my body is built that way, I'd be beautiful bridging, all day long when I was a kid, and then when I started wrestling, I was like, hey, look, I can walk. And then it's like, hey, look, I can spin out of it. And then coach was like, what else can you do after that? And I was like, spear? I was like, okay, let's see if we can perfection this, and I could. It took a while, but it's a thing now.
There have now with you been two Austrian born world champions in the two major promotions in North America. How
Yeah.
important is it to be one of those faces for Austrian wrestling?
I think it's really crazy if you think about it, because Austria is a tiny country, and there are so few people coming from Europe to make it, this big. The only other person, I mean, uh, not talking about, Great Britain, of course, but other than that, it's Claudio, is from Switzerland. But it's really insane. I mean, me and Gunther, we both worked for the same underground promotion as well. Him way before my time, but it's really crazy. We're from the same town even. Um, and I met him backstage at a certain point, and we were just dapping each other up, like, hey, that was before I came to AEW, and I was like, I'm gonna surpass you at some point, and he was like, I want to see that, do it, you know. So it's really cool. I mean, representing my country in that way. I'm not per se a nationalist person, but it's very cute and very cool to see how excited Austria is, or and even German speaking countries, Germany is too. It's like, yeah, we got somebody out there, who speaks our language. It's cool. I like that.
She is the Toxic Spider and she is the AEW Women's World Champion. Thank you for taking the time, Tekla.
Of course, anytime.